Studying in the UK is probably one of the best decisions you're going to make in your life. And why is that? Well, simply because it helps you get a better chance at getting a job in the UK, and that comes with a substantial paycheck. And apart from that, it also gives you the opportunity to explore the UK and its scenic locations. And to be very honest, the UK has some of the most prestigious organizations and institutions in the world, which will look absolutely great on your CV. Tell me in the comment section below why you want to study in the UK. Now, to be honest, most people want to move to the UK because one of these reasons. But to be honest, the process can be a little confusing and thus challenging. So in today's video, we break it down and simplify the entire process for you. If you watch this video all the way till the end, I can absolutely guarantee that you will not need to watch any more videos or do any more research on what you need to do in order to move to the UK to study. So let's get right into it. What are the types of visas that exist for students in the UK? So if you're studying on an English language course for up to 11 months, you can just apply for a short-term study visa. But if you're coming to study on a further education course, you need to apply for a student visa. In case your course lasts less than 6 months, you don't need either of the above. All you can do is simply apply for a standard visitor visa. Moving on to the eligibility. What do you need to have in order to apply for a student visa in the UK? If you want to study in the UK, you need to be above 16 years. If you are anywhere from 16 to 17 years, you will need written parental consent. Apart from this, you also need to have an acceptance from a student sponsor, which is basically a college that is licensed to sponsor your visa in the UK. You'd need a confirmation of acceptance for studies, which is known as a CAS, and not all colleges are authorized to do this. So when you do apply for a program, ensure the college you are applying to is a licensed sponsor. You can find out more details in the link in the description box below. What you also need to have is money to support yourself and pay for the course. In terms of the cost, you're looking at having money to pay for 1 academic year of the course. You would also need money to support yourself, and that's calculated as £1,334 per month for up to 9 months, and that's only for courses in London. For outside London, there's a different rate. Outside London, for up to 9 months, you're looking at £1,023. And you need to have this money for at least 28 days immediately before applying for this visa in your bank account. Apart from this, you also need to be able to speak, write, read, and understand English, as you will have to give an English language test. So what do you need to apply for a visa in the UK? Well, for starters, you would need your passport. Apart from that, you would need a confirmation of acceptance for studies, the CAS that we just mentioned, from your course provider. You would also need to prove that you have enough money to support yourself and pay for your course. You would need a valid ATAS certificate, and we'll just get into that in a bit. You would also need parental consent if you are under 18 and proof of relationship to your parents if you are under 18. Something else you would need is a TB test, especially if you're coming from India. Apart from this, if your education is being sponsored by someone else, you would need written consent for your application from your financial sponsor if you have received sponsorship for your course fees and your living costs in the last 12 months. So we were just talking about an ATAS certificate. This is what it really is. An ATAS certificate, or an Academic Technology Approval Scheme certificate, is required for certain PG courses and some UG courses with a focus and study on research at a PG level in some sensitive subjects. You can find out if you require an ATAS certificate by checking the link in the description box below. So when's the earliest you can apply for this visa? You can apply for the visa to study in the UK up to 6 months before your course. So assume you've managed to make it to the UK. What's the next step? How long can you stay in the UK? If you're applying for a course that is a degree level and above, you can stay for up to 5 years. But if the course you're applying for is below a degree level, you can stay for only 2 years. And what happens when you want to extend your stay? Well, one way of doing this is for applying for a course with a degree higher than the one you currently possess. And you'd also need sponsorship from an organization. Apart from this, you can also move to a graduate level visa, which then buys you another 2 years. So probably one of the most important questions, can you work while you are studying in the UK? Well, the short answer is yes. Well, the long answer, it usually depends on what you'll be studying and when you plan to be working. But in most typical scenarios, you are allowed to work up to 20 hours a week. So when the acceptance letter comes in for your application, they will have mentioned whether you are allowed to work in the UK or not and what you need to keep in mind. Do read the fine print because it's extremely important for you to know where you can work and where you can't. And you would like to avoid any scenarios where you're asked to leave the UK because you haven't followed these rules. But before I move ahead, if you feel this video has helped you, do hit the like button and click on the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content on moving to the UK. So how much is this going to cost you? Well, this is pretty straightforward. If you're applying from outside the UK, like if you're applying from India, it will cost you £348 or approximately 35,000 rupees. If you are applying from within the UK and you want to extend or switch to a student visa, it will cost you £475 or approximately 48,000 rupees. Apart from this, there's also a health surcharge that's due, which is typically £470 a year, plus £235 if you're staying anywhere from 1 to 6 months, or £470 if it's from 6 to 12 months. So now assume your course is for 13 months. You would then have to pay £470 plus £235, which is £705 as your health surcharge. You can also calculate your health surcharge by checking the link in the description box below. So how long does it take for your visa to get there? If you're applying from outside the UK, it should take you approximately 3 weeks to hear back. But if you're applying from inside the UK, it usually takes you about 8 weeks to hear back. Something else I get asked a lot is if you can bring your partner and your children along on a student visa. Yes, you can, as long as your course is longer than 9 months and it's a postgraduate level course. Or it's a new government-sponsored student on a course that lasts longer than 6 months. Or it's a doctoral extension stream student. But something you need to keep in mind is that you will have to have sufficient funds if you plan on bringing your partner and your children along. This amounts to about £845 a month for up to 9 months for courses in London and £680 a month for up to 9 months for courses outside London. Something for you to keep in mind. If you want to take your partner and your children along with you to the UK on a student visa, you do not have to apply separately. You can apply for your visas together or separately as you would like. And remember, both of their visas are valid as long as yours is. Your spouse or your partner is also allowed to work in the UK if you are attending an undergraduate course for longer than 6 months or a postgraduate course for longer than 12 months. Okay, so what's the first step from here if you want to apply for a student visa in the UK? Well, if I were you, I would strongly suggest you look at the institutions and the courses available basis the student's sponsor list and see if the course you like is available with an institute you like that offers these visas. From there, check if you meet the eligibility criteria. While you're in the UK, I strongly suggest you take up a job and work if your visa permits it, not just to make that extra cash, also to get an idea of what the UK market is like and to get some first-hand experience for yourself. If you'd like to get more details on how to get a job in the UK market, you can check out this video I made which has all the details you'll need.